Good morning. Welcome to the National Institute on Money and State Politics public webinar series. We are now well into the 2017 legislative season. Some states like South Dakota and Virginia have already wrapped up their sessions. Meanwhile, Louisiana just got started and many others are starting to hit their strides in their year-long marathons. In other words, this is exactly the right time to learn how to look at contributions to city lawmakers. Now, back in February, we did a webinar on the My Legislature tool, which can be found on the front page here. And that gives you a great in-depth look at lawmakers, legislative committees, legislation, etc. And you can find the webinar linked on our YouTube page, which is at the bottom here. And I recommend you just check it out. It's a great quick overview of that tool. Now, today, I'm going to be showing you the second way to approach the lawmaker data using our versatile Ask Anything tool. So we're going to start here. You click Contributions To, and then you go directly to Lawmaker. We're going to go ahead and look at the current legislative session and select 2017. Now you want to make sure that you only clicked the year after clicking the Lawmakers button instead of going immediately to the election year like you maybe usually do when looking at other contribution data. The 2017 legislative session is going to give you different results than 2017 election year. So you have to make sure you've done that. Now, once you've selected your year, you have several other options for narrowing your focus. So go back into Lawmakers. If you already know exactly who you want to look at, you can click Specific Lawmaker here and just start typing their name. They should pop up. And as always, when you see this little filter, you can narrow it down a little further to help you search. Next option is if you want to say, look only at state senators and what they're getting in a specific state or maybe across several states, you would do that by type of office and select that. Or let's say you don't know who your lawmaker is, or you're not even sure if you want to look at necessarily state senate or the House. That's when you can look specifically at your district and you'll get all of your representatives. You can look at here. Now, if you are like most people, you maybe don't know right off the top of your head what your district is. In which case, you can go to our homepage and we have our My District. You simply type in your address and it's going to return exactly all of your representatives. So like here in Montana, we'll click Submit. Wait a couple seconds. And then here, it returns our House district, our Senate district, and then our federal districts as well. So like our US House, because it's Montana, there's just the one. And then it also will give you some broad overview trends, top industries, top contributors, etc. Back to our query. Another thing you might be interested in taking a look at is contributions to city lawmakers by their party. You can dive into specific states or specific years, or you can just go do a broad overview look. So let's take a look to that. I'm going to select Democratic lawmakers in the current session. And this is sitting Democratic lawmakers in the current session, and it's sorted by individual contributor, which also might include non-individuals. Now, we can see here that a huge chunk of their money came from unitemized donations. You can kind of consider this Act Blue and similar organizations would probably go under here. A lot of those type of donations are small dollar amounts. And then you have the public fund, and then you'll see the more typical expected various party committees. And then as we go further down, you can see Democratic Governors Association, other party-related PACs almost, candidates. And then you finally start getting into corporations, AT&T, International Brotherhood of Electric Workers, unions. And again, this is just a national overview of all lawmakers at the state level. So if you wanted to actually dig in deeper, you could start adding election jurisdiction, and that would split it up by state. And again, using any of these sortings. And you can also do it through the tool itself by editing the query up here. Now, that was the Democratic side. Let's take a look at the Republican side. So you would X that out, go back to the office holders, and then select Republican. I've preloaded it here. And this time I've sorted by broad sector. So of the actual industry sectors, we have, of course, finance, insurance, and real estate being a very prominent sector giving to the Republican Party. And then, again, you'd always expect to see these two party and candidate contributions. You expect those to be almost at the top of the list every single time. General business, health, energy and natural resources, lawyers and lobbyists. Again, these are all what you would expect to see in the top 10 donor sectors to any party. And if you wanted to dig in deeper from there, you could always add either the general industry or the specific business. And that's going to start getting you into industry giving, especially by corporations. Let's say you want to look at the leadership position. It would not be looking at all of your lawmakers, but maybe only the most powerful in the Senate or House. And this is going to be especially useful since House leadership or Senate leadership generally are in charge of setting agendas, of mustering up support for various legislation, committee assignments, etc. So they're very powerful figures, and you might want to know exactly who's giving to them. So let's say, for example, that you want to look at House Speaker for Virginia. So we'll click House Speaker. We'll select the state. And then go ahead and click OK. So here are the results. I should note that if you didn't even specify the 2017 legislative session for this particular query, it's going to automatically return the most current data. So by clicking lawmaker here, you can see William Howell. He's the House Speaker at the moment. If you didn't specify 2017, though, it's not going to randomly give you like the House Speaker from 2013 or 2011 or anything like that. The contribution data as you see here, summarized at the top right here, this is Howell's career summary. So it's going to give him all the years going back to 1999. You can always click at the headers and it's going to sort. So this is easier to see, the most recent. You click the magnifying glass on the left. It's going to open up a new tab and give you only the 2016 contribution data to Virginia House Speaker William Howell. Virginia holds its regular legislative elections on odd years. So in this case, you might actually be interested in looking at 2015 data as well. As you can see here, it's quite a bit larger than 2016. Let's go back up to our query and edit it. And we're going to X out those things. The other thing I wanted to show you that would be really interesting to look at is not just lawmakers, but legislative committees and the contributions to those people who sit on them. This can really get to the heart of money given with direct and purpose of influencing legislation. So we go to the lawmaker menu again, and then we go over to legislative committees. I actually recommend going to the specific legislative committee, because if you just start typing in your keywords, even if you don't know the exact name of the committee, it's going to pop up with what you want. So, for example, I'm going to put in California Health. And it's going to give me the health committees for both the House and Senate and their subcommittees. In this case, I'm going to click California House 2017. And then just to narrow down further and get me really what I'm looking at, I want to look at the contributions from the health industry to the health committee. I just go contributions from, select industry, and then select health. Click OK. Click go. It's going to show you all the lawmakers and by year. And again, it saves your selections from last time. So you can just click or unclick whatever you need to look at it. In this case, I want to look at the exact contributors and what they've given over time. I've done that, and now I can see the major institutional giving from the health industry to the health committee. So that was a very brief introduction to the tool. Please do give us a call or shoot us an email. We're a small office, and we actually do answer our phones. So we should be able to get you help that you need right away. And thank you for listening.